Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome to Techfoolery, the worst tech show on the internet since This Week in Mobile. I'm your host, Ashley Esqueda, and as always, joining me, Mike Hobbs. Hi, Mike.
Hey, hi, Ashley.
We lived.
We lived. We're still alive.
We're here. We're doing it. We're doing our own thing.
We're gonna try anyway.
Yeah, we're gonna try to marry Tyler Moore this one. We're gonna make it after all. Nobody got that reference because everybody watching the show is probably not 100 years old.
Right, I didn't get it
we are.
right away either.
Well, you're young. You're a spring chicken.
Not true, but go ahead.
So this is our set. Welcome. I wanted to show everybody what's going on here. We have a couple of Androids that, of course, I'll be rotating through every week as part of my army that I own. And as always, we have Steve.
Yeah, Steve.
Our advice columnist, by the way. If you have any questions for him, you can email us at thetechfooleryshow@gmail.com, or you can go to our website, techfoolery.tv. So what's good for you? Mike, so much stuff going on, so let's get right into it. Let's get into the news.
Okay.
Let's do this. Well, of course, the first big story this week is sitting right here.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's the big story this week.
That's the big, it's the new Nintendo system has just come out.
That's always a big deal. The Nintendo 3DS is available. It's out there for you to buy. It's $250.
Yeah.
Worth it?
$249. That's a little bit expensive. Is it worth it? I think it is worth it if you know what you're getting and if you want to play some of these games. It's absolutely worth it. The effect is terrific.
Yeah, and I've heard there's some really good launch titles. Like you've got Pilot Wings.
That Pilot Wings was one of the reasons I bought the system because I love this, the old SNES game and then the N64 game. And
the N64 game was great.
It's just so much fun, and so I was dying to play it on this, and it's really fun. The 3D effect on the system it's engrossing.
Engrossing.
It's engrossing. It works.
Serious.
It works well. You have a sweet spot, which is like you have to sit here pretty much like this and play it. Anything like this, then it just goes away.
Do your arms get tired?
No more than just of playing, holding a phone or anything like that. It's, and it's a good system to hold. It feels good. But yeah, it works great.
Nice. Okay. I'll buy that.
Battery life is pretty bad.
It's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad.
How long? What do you get out of it?
3 to 4 hours.
Oh, well, that's oddly enough, we've got two things on the show today that have a battery life of 3 to 4 hours.
Compared to older systems like the DSi or DS Lite,
like 10 hours
at least. So if you're
insane.
on a trip, which is a lot of people are on trips in cars with these things, it's kind of
death.
It's a bit short in that way. But I'm going to do, I think, a more in-depth review.
Yeah.
Online because I want to go into a lot of the hardware, the industrial design is actually really interesting.
Yeah.
And nice on this. And
it's really thick. I wasn't.
It is thick. It's a little bit
thick.
chunky, but Nintendo, they're really good designers, and it feels good to hold. The shape is good. The surfaces are all good. It has cool AR stuff too, which
we all love augmented reality.
Which I might touch on in the review, and the 3D camera, which takes fun little 3D. They're low res looks pretty bad, but they're in 3D. It's fun. So
well, that's really cool. I don't know. Here's my thing. I don't know if I'm going to pay $249 for it.
Right. It's for, I think, at that price, early adopters, Nintendo enthusiasts, for sure, are gonna pick it up.
Do you think they'll have a price drop before Christmas?
No.
I don't think so either. I was just curious.
No. I'm going to say no, but who knows if it really is not doing well after launch, down to $199.
I was going to say like $229. Like you'd be able to get it on like Amazon for like $229 or.
Maybe.
Something like that.
Maybe.
During the holidays. Like you get like a $30 off or something like that. Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. But,
it's an interesting little device. I got to use it and it was, it was bizarre like at first, but it's really weird. Like I kind of liken it to looking at one of those old 3D pictures where they had like the pattern and then you looked at it for a long time and you had to like look through it to like see the 3D image. It was like Magic 3D or whatever it's called.
Yeah, except you have to work at that. And then just as soon as you see it, you sense where the 3D is.
It does the work for you, but it's like I always laugh because every time I think of that, I think of in Mallrats when he's like, "When, Lord, when? When will I see the damn sailboat?" And it's like all he needs now is a 3DS. Works out great.
And you got a little 3D world inside that screen. It's neat.
Yeah, it is really cool. You are correct in that it's engrossing. It's extremely captivating. Like once you get it in your hands, you're like, ooh.
It's cool the first time you see it, and it continues to be cool as you keep playing it. You're always kind of impressed with the 3D.
Yeah, it's real neat. I will wait until Kid Icarus comes out, and then I'll make a decision as to whether or not I'm going to get one.
I'm looking forward to Ocarina of Time remake. I think that's going to be really fun to play through that in 3D.
That'll be really nice.
Yeah.
All right, well, I want to talk about this Amazon thing because I am very curious as to whether or not, which I'm sure there will be, lawsuits tossed around because, as we all know, the record industry is not a huge fan of anybody taking any creative licensing with their music, and Amazon has done just that. They have officially announced that they have this wonderful music storage locker and just document and file storage locker where you can buy music from Amazon MP3. If you have an Android phone, you can stream it to your Android phone. If you have a laptop or PC or anything in between, you can go onto Amazon's website and listen to music through there. Pretty amazing stuff. I'm really impressed with it thus far because I have a Zoom and I have an Evo and I am really enjoying it. What do you think?
Well, so I'm not impressed with it so far because it doesn't work on my phone or my iPad.
Well, you're very upset.
It doesn't work on iOS devices for reasons
Obvious
that
reasons.
Might be obvious to some. But yeah, this is interesting. Amazon decided that you can just now upload all of your music that you bought from Amazon or wherever else, rip from your CDs, just upload it to this cloud and then
Straight up just ate Google and Apple's lunch.
Yeah, because the rumors have been
no.
Apple's been working on a service like this for a while. They want to integrate it with mobile media.
Well, they bought Lala a while back.
They might be, who knows what they say it's for the people, but people think it's for the technology somehow. So,
right.
I mean, I think Sony Music is upset with Amazon.
I have heard they're very upset. I've heard Warner is extremely upset.
That they don't like this. But whether they can do anything about it seems odd.
I don't know. Because here's the thing. I mean, I think obviously Amazon's got some pretty good lawyers. Otherwise, they wouldn't be as huge as they are now.
Right.
And they've clearly combed through the issue well enough to say it's safe to go ahead and launch this without any legal ramification. And even if we do get sued, it'll be okay.
Yeah, and they felt confident that they could win.
Yeah, they felt very confident in it. And so, I mean, for me, I'm very curious to see where this goes. I don't know, because I think the president of Amazon had mentioned, he was like, oh, yeah, if you buy your music, you own it. You should be able to access it anywhere. Right. And I think that that's true.
That seems true. But then at the same time, I think there's somehow the streaming aspect of it is what bothers these record companies.
Well, because it's not licensed. It's just the same as, for example, Google TV, where you're dealing with, oh, well, I understand that they, broadcast networks give those shows for free, but when you are streaming them on the internet, that's a different thing, and you need to pay us for that, which is just insane.
They need to get this straightened out, because the same thing has happened to Time Warner. They put out this app that had certain channels on it, and now those channels are no longer...
they're revoking them left and right.
To be watched on the iPad.
Which is stupid. I'm just going to say it's stupid. I don't even want to talk about this anymore. Let's just move on to the next story.
Okay.
What do you want to talk about?
Well, the next thing was, the Worldwide Developers Conference, Apple's WWDC.
Yes. Did you get a ticket?
I didn't get a ticket, and I didn't try to buy one on eBay. They were apparently going on eBay for up to $2,000. The thing is sold out.
I.O. is the same way. I.O. sold out in less than an hour, and then now there's student tickets that were $150.
Right.
Or, school education tickets, $2,500, $1,900. I mean, just insane amounts of money. Yeah. Ridiculous amounts of money. If anybody out there pays $2,000 for a ticket to I.O., you're crazy. I'm just putting it out there. Or WWDC.
Or that, because you could just watch it on the internet.
Yeah, watch it online.
I mean, so it's going to be June 5th through 9th at the Moscone Center. And last year, of course,
pretty standard,
is where they did the iPhone 4.
Which is a big deal.
Up until, I think, a couple of months ago, you would have assumed iPhone 5 they would have had a June event at WWDC, and they would have had a keynote with the iPhone 5 coming out.
You don't think no iPhone 5?
No, the rumor is now that this is going to be a software-focused event. They're going to focus on...
they've got Lion.
iOS, and they're going to focus on the next on OS 10 Lion. And push back a new iPhone introduction to later in the year. What happens then? Because that sort of messes up Apple's entire cycle. They've got iPad early, first quarter announcement, then they've got iPhone second quarter, not really anything in third quarter, and then fourth quarter they always have the music side of Apple. Right. Well, see, I don't think they've messed anything up, because the music side has been losing significance. iPods they can't really innovate anymore, and they don't sell like they used to. They're not the tentpole that they used to be.
That's true.
And so for that fall event now they can do that as the iPhone event and integrate it with a Verizon iPhone and all at once. Do a new update that covers both phones.
Well, okay, I'll buy that.
Because I think if the white one's coming out soon, it makes no sense that the white one would come out in April.
I still don't believe the damn white iPhone's ever coming out. April. I'm sorry, I just still think it's a load of crap.
And then they wouldn't do a brand new one 2 or 3 months later. So I think they're going to push the new iPhone back to.
Is it also possible that they are developing LTE for Verizon?
Yeah, that's the other possibility. That by delaying it, you're also going to get LTE to come with it.
Which I'm sure a ton of Apple fans would be extremely happy
and
about.
NFC,
NFC. I mean, all these technologies that are coming out. And it's also possible that if they are working, in fact, on a cloud service for your music, a streaming cloud service, that they would launch that at the same time as the iPhone 5. So because of their music cycle, you would assume that something like that would have been announced in the fall. So now bringing the iPhone 5 to fall would be an interesting sort of merger of those two technologies.
Yeah, but Amazon might have accelerated that with what they did.
Very possible.
And so I think maybe at WWDC they might do
a very brief, here's what it is.
They're talking about a music locker, maybe that would cost $20 a month or something like
$20 a month is insane. Amazon's 20 gigs a year for $20 a year.
Yeah, so Apple, we don't know what they're going to offer you.
Apple likes to overcharge, so that's just
but they also understand. They're also very competitive, so.
That's true, but they're not super competitive when it comes to price.
They'll price what they think they.
Yeah.
I think that's changing a little bit now, isn't it?
Well, I think now with like tablets, especially, you're seeing. But they did set the bar on that, and they said these are the prices that are going to be the standard.
And other people have had a lot of trouble reaching that.
No, that's very true.
Standard.
What's the last thing we're talking about? When we have a fourth story?
Yep.
What the hell was it?
It was real good.
I bet it was. We had the 3DS. I think you want to talk about the Evo?
Oh, that was it. We were going to talk about the Evo 3D.
Yeah, we were going to talk about the Evo 3D.
Because you're so excited about this.
I am so freaking excited about this. Can I just say, I didn't think that I wanted a 3D phone. I was just like, I don't care. And then I saw it, and it was a thing of beauty. And I was like, thank you, God, for giving me such a beautiful three-dimensional phone.
Well, I mean, even without the 3D, this is the thing, even without the 3D, it's an
a great
phone. You would upgrade to this anyway.
I would totally upgrade to it. And I'm very much looking forward to the fact that it's got 4G. It's, it's basically, it is the next Evo, obviously. Sure. And this is a huge step forward for Evo and for Sprint. Thank God we're finally getting some decent phones on Sprint. Like, first the Evo, now finally other phones that we can use. I'm just really excited about it. 2 5-megapixel cameras that can combine for a 10-megapixel picture or a 5-megapixel 3D picture or a 5-megapixel 3D video.
Oh, and I think it's a 720 3D video and a 1080 video.
Which is pretty awesome.
It's awesome.
I'm really excited about it.
I think I like the styling of the phone. I like the big camera button.
I really like that dedicated camera button. It's like they're just doing away with the point and shoot. Like now this is the bridge. This is the gap that has been crossed. This is the missing link between the point and shoot and the cell phone. Like we're finally seeing that phone with a little button on it that's actually a dedicated camera shutter button, which is awesome.
And supposedly it feels great, like a real camera button.
I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to finally having Gingerbread. It will ship with Gingerbread. It will have, the updated version of Sense where it's got the htcsense.com syncing capabilities with the backup and everything. I am really looking forward to this phone. Really looking forward to it.
$249?
Probably $249. I'm going to say $249 just because when you add the Thunderbolt right now is $249. And that's the first 4G, LTE Verizon dual core phone. And HTC makes great devices. And when you look at something like the Evo 3D, it's obviously going to command a higher price point.
A premium.
Yeah, it's going to command a premium.
Except on Amazon.
Yeah, you'll probably be able to get it on Amazon for like $189 or something, or $199 on launch day, something like that. Well, Mike, I want to talk about the HTC Thunderbolt. I've been reviewing it. I've had it for the last 2 weeks.
Wonderful.
Real fast. Thunderbolt, that's what it is.
It was striking the first time we checked out the download and upload speeds.
That was a buffer issue.
Even so.
But even so, really fast.
The speeds are
really incredible.
Enormous speeds.
Yeah, enormous speeds, light speed, if you will. But I would like to explain how our review system works before we check out this video. So Mike and I have come up with a review scoring system in which all devices, whether it is hardware, software, all reviews will be given a score of 1 through 5 out of 5 pancakes.
Pancakes.
Yes, we score out of pancakes because pancakes, quite frankly, are delicious and should be used as a scoring system more often. So without further ado, check out my HTC Thunderbolt review.
Okay guys, let's check out. Here it is, the HTC Thunderbolt 4G. The Verizon LTE phone that everybody is fawning over and drooling over. Let's talk about it because it's been a really interesting couple of weeks that I've had with it, and I quite like it, but there's a couple of things that maybe need to be fixed. So let's talk a little bit about the hardware. I love that HTC puts a little bit of heft into their phones. For HTC, I mean, I think they really know how to make a good looking phone, and this is no exception. There is a lovely kickstand in the back that's a lot thicker than the Evo, which is great because you can actually set it down this way, or you can set it down in portrait and it will actually stay there. I'm not so sure about the placement of the speaker behind the kickstand because sometimes I'll just flip my phone over and listen to stuff so it can sound a little bit muffled. The battery cover, I had the same problem with the Inspire 4G for AT&T, which is that the battery cover is like impossible to get off. As for the software, this is obviously running the newer version of Sense that's out for the Inspire. You can't actually go on to htcsense.com and upload all of your data and back it up to the cloud. But it is running the really great personalization stuff that they have, the skins, the different, they still have the scenes, you still have Leap, you still have all of those great things. But at the end of the day, you have a much better experience, I think, Sense-wise, because you're able to customize your launcher a little bit better. I want to talk about the speed of this phone. It's really fast. They didn't call it the Thunderbolt for nothing, people. The processing speed is really great, and it's serious business. When you run something, you can run multiple things at one time, and it doesn't even flinch. I mean, it just looks you straight in the eye and is like, what? It's a great phone for that, and I'm really impressed with the speed of it. Fast boot is an excellent option. It boots up the phone in less than 10 seconds, as opposed to a full boot, which is about 22 seconds. I think the best way to talk about the experience is to do a little bit of everything. So the first thing I want to talk about is pictures and video. Mike and I went out to take some pictures. The camera is just vastly improved from a phone like the Evo. I'll compare a lot of stuff to the Evo because that's my phone. So vastly improved, night and day. I mean, we're talking much better software. The lens seems to be a little bit better. It seems to have a much faster shutter speed. I mean, this is a camera that will replace your point and shoot. I was expecting using a Verizon phone, and this is the very first Verizon phone that I have reviewed. I was expecting an excellent network connection because everybody's talking about how great Verizon is. Not awesome. Some of the calls were staticky. I had friends on the other line tell me that I came through fine, but there was a little bit of noise on their end. And on top of that, for my end of things, when you hold it up to your ear like this and you're talking, you hear what I can only describe as a very tinny echo, as if you are in the bottom of a very large well. You cannot turn off LTE the way you can turn off 4G on an Evo. So if you didn't know that, now you know. This is a very important talking point because I want to get to the next thing, which is battery life. If you are not somebody who is comfortable with entering codes into your phone, if you're somebody who's not comfortable with the idea of rooting your phone or anything like that, you probably won't ever go into that setting and shut off LTE manually. That means your battery life, if you are not in an area that has constant LTE all the time, which really is not a whole lot of cities, you will suffer. Battery life is about, with heavy use, about 3 to 4 hours, which is just ouch-worthy. I'm hoping that we get the same type of experience on the Evo 3D, but we shall see on that.
What did you give it?
I am going to give the HTC Thunderbolt a whopping 4 out of 5 pancakes.
That's a high score. Highly recommended.
It is. That's a high score. Highly recommended. There's some issues. Like I said, the battery cover weird. The in-ear sound is just really bizarre. That tinny noise is like, that kind of docked it for me. And then also, obviously, the big negative, battery life. Boo. Not a huge fan of that.
Oh.
So, had to take a point off.
For those reasons.
Had to take a pancake off.
All right, for those reasons.
Right.
4 out of 5 pancakes.
Yeah, but ultimately, an excellent phone. Still the best phone that Verizon has to offer. I highly recommend you go out and get one because, quite frankly, that's what cell phones are all about, man.
What?
That
Speed?
Thunderbolt speed. I mean, it's a gorgeous device. It's got a big, giant screen. It's everything that you really want in a cell phone. It's got LTE. I mean, it's just great.
It's got the screen, actually. It's a super LCD.
Yeah, it's
quite
beautiful.
a nice looking display. I like it.
Really beautiful. And I'm looking forward to the next, the Evo 3D QHD.
Oh, yes, nice high resolution.
We're getting serious with cell phones.
Almost Retina display.
Almost. Not quite.
Not quite.
Not quite. But that is the end of our show. It was quick. It went by so fast.
Sure did.
I can't believe it. And I just want to let you guys know that we're going to be doing the show once every 2 weeks. And I would love to make it once every week, but I have to retain my own semblance of sanity. And we, in fact, do all of this ourselves, including the lighting and the crewing. And there's nobody behind our camera right now. So, yeah, our producer, who doesn't exist, we basically do all this ourselves. So once every 2 weeks, we promise we'll put out a show for you, and we promise to make it interesting, and we want you to participate. So go to our website, techfoolery.tv. We want you to make submissions. We want you to ask Steve your advice. He's waiting to give you advice. We want you to send in your cell phone pictures. If you've got an amazing shot that you took on any cell phone across any manufacturer, platform, carrier, whatever, send it to us. Tell us what you took it on, where it was, and we'll put it on the show. I think that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
We love our fans. That's what we love. We're doing this for you. And ultimately, we want you to participate and be a part of this. We wish we could do it live. Unfortunately, not an option considering it's midnight, and nobody would be watching anyway.
I don't know about that, but there are other reasons too.
That's true. There are other reasons we can't do it live, mostly because I'm irrational and...
My internet sucks.
And Mike's internet totally sucks. Time Warner. Bad.
I don't think I didn't say them for a reason.
Well, I said it.
There goes potential sponsorship.
So much fail.
From Time Warner.
Well, good riddance. Anyway, we want to leave you every show with our favorite segment.
Oh, yes.
We're really excited about it, and we can't wait to show it to you. It is, without further ado, and we will see you next time, our individual consumer electronic advertisement retrospective. I'm Ashley Esqueda.
I'm Mike Hobbs.
And we'll see you next time. It's been Techfoolery. First show.
Enjoy.
But the outstanding feature of this great new color set, the one big feature that sets it apart, is an amazing new wireless wizard electronic remote control. Take the remote unit from its handy storage space, and you're set for hours of pure pleasure. Enjoy your favorite programs, black and white or color. Turn the set on, select your channel, see all color shows in living color. Once you've adjusted fine-tuning for each channel, you never need touch fine-tuning again, either at the set or on the remote unit. But if you want, touch, and you can adjust fine-tuning to suit your taste at any time. If you overtune on this or any other control, just push the companion button to reverse the direction of the control. In the same way, press this rocker bar to adjust the color, variable all the way from black and white to maximum color intensity. To adjust the tint control for natural face tones, press the right rocker bar, or the left. Lets you enjoy the picture you want, the way you want to see it. Right at your fingertips.